There's a part of you that you never talk about, a side of you that doesn't show up in your selfies, your daily conversations, or even the way you describe yourself. It's hidden deep, yet it quietly shapes every thought you think, every relationship you enter, and every choice you make. This is your shadow. And today, we're going to walk into that darkness and see how it's been running your life without you even knowing. In psychology, the word shadow doesn't mean evil, or bad, or even dangerous. It means the part of yourself you've pushed away. The feelings you were told not to have. The desires you were told to hide. The parts of you that once felt too heavy, too shameful, or too unacceptable to show the world. Think about it. As kids, we all had moments where we got the message. Don't cry. Don't be angry. Don't be selfish. Don't be too loud. Slowly, piece by piece, you learned which parts of yourself were okay, and which parts needed to be buried. Those buried parts, they didn't disappear. They became your shadow. Let me give you a story. Imagine a boy named Adam. Adam grew up in a house where anger was dangerous. His father's temper filled the rooms like fire, burning everyone who got too close. Adam learned very early that showing anger could destroy everything. So what did he do? He buried his anger. He pushed it down, telling himself, I'm not an angry person. I'm calm. I'm kind. And on the surface, Adam grew up to be just that kind, soft-spoken, always agreeable. But the anger didn't vanish, it hid. And years later, Adam found himself snapping at the smallest things. Road rage, silent resentment at work, explosions in relationships. This is the truth about the shadow. What you hide always finds another way to come out. It seeps through your words, your reactions, your choices. It shows up in the fights you didn't mean to start, the decisions you regret, the guilt you carry. Time doesn't erase the shadow. It only gives it more years to grow in silence. Think about your own life. Why do you repeat patterns you swore you'd never fall back into? Why do you find yourself drawn to people who hurt you, again and again? Why do you sabotage yourself right when things start to go well? It's not weakness. It's not fate. It's your shadow pulling the strings. Every time you silence your feelings, every time you pretend you're fine, every time you wear a mask for the world, your shadow grows heavier. And the weight of that silence turns into storms inside you. But here's the most dangerous part. Your shadow doesn't just affect you. It shapes how you treat others. You push people away without meaning to. You crave love but fear intimacy. You hurt the people closest to you because you can't face the pain inside yourself. It's like living with a stranger inside you. A stranger who whispers in your ear, guides your hand, and makes choices you don't understand until it's too late. But there's another truth. The shadow isn't here to destroy you. It's here to be faced, to be understood, to be integrated. Because the parts of yourself you've buried, they aren't just your pain. They're also your power. And the moment you turn to face them, everything begins to change. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path is familiar, quiet, safe, but full of the same cycles you've always known. The other path is unknown, darker, scarier, but leading toward growth. That's the moment when you choose whether to face your shadow or keep running. Most of us run. We distract ourselves with work, with relationships, with endless scrolling on our phones. Because silence is terrifying. Silence makes the shadow louder. But the shadow waits. And it waits until you're tired of running. Until the weight of unspoken feelings is heavier than the fear of facing them. What you see, when you finally look, can be shocking. The anger you denied, the envy you pretended you never had, the grief you buried so deep you forgot it was still bleeding inside you. It feels like breaking apart, like realizing you've been living half a life, wearing half a face. But inside that despair, something begins to flicker. A truth. You cannot heal what you refuse to see. And the moment you turn toward your shadow, the healing begins. Not easy, not quick, but real. The shadow is not only your wounds. It also holds your creativity, your strength, your passion, your voice. Everything you silenced is waiting to return. Stronger, fuller, more alive than before. And as you face it, you begin to notice something strange. You're not breaking, you're becoming whole. Because facing your shadow is not about destroying the darkness. It's about bringing it into the light. It's about becoming all of who you are. But here's the hard truth. Before the light fully comes, the shadow fights back. It tests you. It tries to convince you to quit. You'll feel the old voices rise again. You're weak. You'll never change. You're unlovable as you are. The shadow doesn't give up easily, because it's been with you your whole life. It knows your fears better than anyone, and it will use them against you. But listen closely. That resistance? It's not proof you're failing. It's proof you're getting closer to the truth. This is the breaking point. The place where most people turn back, because it hurts too much, because it feels too dark. But if you stay here, if you breathe through the pain, something shifts. The shadow stops being the enemy. It becomes a part of you asking to be held. You realize you don't have to fight the shadow. You have to listen to it. You have to learn what it's been trying to tell you all along. And in that moment, the world inside you changes. The weight lifts, not all at once, but enough for you to breathe again. Enough for you to see hope again. The shadow softens. It's no longer a monster in the dark. It's a wounded child, a forgotten self, a voice that only ever wanted to be heard. And suddenly, you see clearly. The shadow wasn't holding you back. It was waiting for you to come home. When you reach this stage, you begin to see yourself differently. Not as broken, not as weak, but as someone carrying both light and shadow, both parts making you whole. You realize the anger you buried wasn't evil. It was trying to protect you. The sadness you avoided wasn't weakness. It was asking to be honored. Every shadow carries a message. Every dark piece holds a story. And when you listen, those stories turn into strength. Your life becomes like an open book again. Not one you're ashamed to read, but one you're ready to write in fully, honestly, bravely. You no longer fear the parts of yourself you once hid. Instead, you begin to walk with them, to let them stand beside you, instead of behind you. And the freedom is powerful. No more chains of denial, no more masks, just you complete and unafraid. This is what true healing looks like. Not cutting away the dark, but holding it, loving it, becoming whole with it. You feel lighter, calmer. Decisions don't feel so confusing anymore. Relationships start to shift. Life feels more real, more yours. Because once you integrate your shadow, you stop running from yourself. And for the first time, you can finally rest. The shadow was never a prison. It was a doorway. And now, you've walked through it. Now imagine living life without the fear of your own shadow. No longer hiding, no longer pretending. Just walking freely, fully yourself. The peace you feel is not because life is suddenly easy. It's because you no longer fight yourself. And that changes everything. From the cracks of your pain, beauty begins to grow. What once felt like weakness now becomes your strength. You realize the shadow wasn't your enemy. It was your teacher. And by facing it, you've unlocked a deeper truth about who you are. You're not just light. You're not just dark. You're both. And that's what makes you whole. The candle you once carried in the dark, now it doesn't just fight the shadows. It shines openly, freely, without fear. Time moves differently when you stop running. Moments feel fuller. Life feels richer. You're finally here, present, alive. No more masks, no more weight. Just rest, just truth, just peace. Because healing isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming whole. Walking side by side with every part of yourself. The dawn has come. And you've learned to carry both night and morning inside you. The shadow will always be with you. But now, it no longer controls you. It walks with you. And that makes all the difference. So remember this. The hidden shadow side of you is not your curse. It is your key. And once you face it, you unlock the life you were always meant to live.